Hello there, this is Eric from Finley Truck and RV, and I'll be doing a video walkthrough on 4112T, the 2021 Hemisphere. Starting up front here, you have your 7-pin wiring and your breakaway switch. Just under the nose here, you have a touchpad. In order to turn the touchpad on, you will push both arrow keys till it lights up. Then you could raise or lower the actual front of the camper, or you could come in here and hit auto level, sit back, let it do its leveling. Or you could also, retract jacks or anything like that. There are instructions here on operation of that touchpad. Just under here in the compartment, there's a latch up top here to hold the compartment door. You have battery storage on each side in here. There are brand new Group 24 deep cycle batteries in each of those compartments. You have a spare tire mount inside of here, and then just some miscellaneous electrical in this compartment. You have a light out here on the side. There's a switch right on the bottom of the light itself. Spot to chain up a dog or anything on the outside over here. You have your first slide out in your living room. Slide outs are prepped for slide covers too on the top side of them. You have a compartment inside of here. This is just a giant pass-through storage compartment. There's a light inside of here. Has a switch on the actual light itself. The other switch here is for lights on the very nose of the camper. So we'll come back around here and show you. The lights on the very nose up there, the strips, that's what that switch is for. Then there also is an inverter in here that will power the refrigerator and some miscellaneous things inside the camper when you're going down the road. You have a couple outdoor speakers. Those will be played from the radio inside of the camper up in the living room area. This camper comes with tip-in style steps, and these do have adjustable legs on the bottom down here, so you could adjust them for different terrains, and there's a lever there to adjust them. You have a fold-away handle on your entry door, which these just lift up and fold over to the side. On your lock, you have one that's going to be a latch lock for the handle and one that's going to be a deadbolt lock for the door. On the doors, you do have screen doors attached. So if you want the screen door open, you can just open the door. These are what they have on these doors here. They have what they call a friction hinge. So there's no kind of like lock to lock the door back. It just has friction on the hinge itself that keeps it open. You have your next slide out over here. On the outside of this slide out here, there's a spot to mount a television. It's got a bracket that will slide into there. That is where the cable wire will hook up to the television. And then also inside of here, you got a couple 110 outlets to power the television. Same kind of steps, same kind of entry door, and same kind of handle over here on the rear. You do have a power awning that goes all the way across the roof. That will be controlled from inside the camper. There's going to be a switch that says awning or in or out on your main switch panel. Also, there's a LED light strip below that awning that will light up everything below it. Coming around the back here, you have storage in your bumper for your waste hose. There's a cap down here that you can remove and store your waste hose in there. And then you have ladder access to the rooftop. It is prepped for a backup camera at the very top. If you ever want to add a wireless backup camera, you can go to Furion, and Furion.com I believe is what it is, and pick up a wireless backup camera. Over here on this side over here is going to be your other slide up. You have your 50 amp short cord hookup here. In order to release this, you'll turn to the left and pull straight out. It does have a lock ring too if you want to lock the lock ring on once you have the cord on. They have it labeled here low point drains, so just below here are going to be some low point drains. If I can get to it, I don't know if you can see them in the video, but there's some low point drains underneath of there. You have your furnace intake and exhaust, so anytime the furnace is running, this will be blowing hot air out of these ports here. And then just underneath of here, you have your black tank drain and your gray tank drains for your sewer outlet. You have your next slide out that's going to be in your kitchen area, and on that slide out there is an exhaust vent over the stove top. Over here you have your water heater. This water heater is gas and electric. It is controlled from inside the camper. On the outside out here you do have a pressure relief valve and a water heater anode rod. And then also in the very corner here you have a water heater switch to turn the water heater on the electric side. The gas side is actually turned on from inside the camper, so if you want it on electric you'll have to have the switch on out here. Freshwater tank drain, they have a sticker there labeled there, and just underneath it here are freshwater tank drains. Over here you're back into that same pass-through storage side. Inside of here you have another light on the wall. At the very top up here you have a black tank flush system. If you use that, make sure you have all your waste drain valves open. You could hook a garden hose to there and that will spray water into the waste tanks to rinse the waste tanks out. Below that you have a hot and cold outdoor shower. It's got a little shower head here. City water connection, that's where your garden hose is going to be hooked up whenever you're camping. And freshwater connection, that is where you'll hook your garden hose up to fill the freshwater tank, the water you take with you on a trip. It does have a water heater bypass when you get into winterizing, if you get into winterizing your camper. And then there is a winterization hose here to where you could stick that in your jug of antifreeze. Switch your valve here, turn your water pump on, and it'll pump antifreeze into the system. Once you do that, you do have to run everything hot and cold till antifreeze comes through the lines. And then normally we just have the water heater on bypass and then drain the water heater and leave the rod out of the water heater, so it just is completely empty in the water heater. Next compartment up here, or last compartment, is going to be your propane tanks. This does have a selector valve in the center of it. Whichever way the pointer is pointing, like currently right now it's pointing over here, is the tank you'll be feeding off of. You got two tanks. You do have shut-off valves on the top of your tanks also. In the center here you'll notice it's green. If you are in the red, it's either got something turned on and it's leaking, or your propane's empty. So if you ever see red, it's not going to work. If you see green, you're good to go. And then we're back up to the front area. That concludes my video on the exterior. I'll pick up with an interior video. Thank you.